132 times. That's how many times Park Cheol-min stood face to face with Kim Jong-un, managing the regime's most classified secrets. While 25 million North Koreans starved, he watched billions in hidden wealth flow into Swiss bank accounts. Today, for the first time, a man who sat at the center of the world's most repressive system tells the whole truth. This is the story he risked everything to share. Join us in standing up for human rights. Subscribe to hear more stories of courage and freedom. Your support brings these untold voices to light. I worked beside Kim Jong-un from 2022 to January 2025. I saw his meals. I knew who would be purged next. Sitting in this interrogation room right now, telling this story, I still can't believe it's real. Mr. Park Cheol-min, did you really stand that close to Kim Jong-un? The NIS agent asked. More than 100 times. More precisely, 132. His face went still. If this man is telling the truth, the things we didn't know in that moment, I understood exactly how much my story was worth. But the beginning wasn't dramatic. Not at all. Spring 2022. I was living the life every North Korean envied. 4:30 in the morning. My eyes opened, right on schedule. 17th floor of a luxury apartment near Mansudae. My wife stirred beside me. Today's another day you see the marshal, isn't it? Yes. Economic briefing. I'm tense. Standing before the marshal was always like walking a razor's edge. Breakfast that morning, grilled pheasant. Something ordinary Pyongyang residents would never lay eyes on, caught fresh from the waters off Wonsan. Dad, we're studying the marshal's on-site guidance at school. Today, my daughter said. Third year at Pyongyang Medical University. At 5:30, a dedicated Mercedes S-Class was waiting. Director, I've pre-warmed the cabin for you. I took that kind of treatment for granted. Back then, crossing the bridge over the Taedong River, I spotted the residential towers in the distance, every window dark. Why is it so dark over there? We prioritize power to the cadre apartments, the driver answered carefully. I didn't ask again. At 6 on the dot, we arrived at the State Affairs Commission, restricted zone. My secretary, Kim Yong-soo, was already waiting. Director, the briefing materials for the marshal are ready. Good work. The economic figures, no problems. But we both knew. The numbers were fiction. Factory operating rate listed at 78%. The real figure under 40%. We shaped the numbers into whatever the marshal wanted to see. Yong-soo, these figures are far from reality, aren't they? I kept my voice low. Director, he answered even lower. Reporting the truth is more dangerous. The one who delivers bad news gets removed first. That was the law of this place. 9 o'clock. Outside the marshal's office. Head bodyguard Lee Seong-woo stood at the door. The marshal is waiting. I drew a slow breath. The door opened. A wide office. Pyongyang spread out below through the windows. Kim Jong-un sat behind his desk. Cheol-min. Good, you're here. Yes, Marshal. I've come to deliver the economic report. Sit. I hear the numbers are looking good. Overall, the trend is upward. I opened the briefing document. Factory operating rate, 78%. Agricultural output up 12% from last year. He nodded. Proof that our economy is beating the sanctions. Yes, Marshal. My answer was steady, but something inside me was rotting. Is this right? Back in my office, Chief Cho Mayong-suk was waiting. Director, an urgent report just came in from North Hamgyong Province. What happened? Starvation deaths in Onsong County. What? My voice came out louder than I intended. She glanced around, then handed me the document. Classified. 40 people dead from starvation just last month? My hands were shaking. Shouldn't we report this to the marshal? She shook her head. Director, you can't report something like this. The one who reports it ends up taking the blame. That night I couldn't sleep. 40 people had starved to death. And I had eaten pheasant that morning. I had told the marshal the economy was improving. Is this right? I stared out the window. Pyongyang's residential towers swallowed by darkness. What was happening inside them right now? Were hungry children crying? I didn't know then. I had no idea that this small, quiet question would completely unmake my life. That the 132nd meeting would be the last. And that at the end of it all, I would be standing on South Korean soil. March 2024, an urgent summons. Director, the marshal demands an emergency briefing. Kim Yong-soo's voice was shaking. An emergency call was never a good sign. I walked into the office. Kim Jong-un's expression was severe. Cheol-min, what's the food situation in North Hamgyong Province? Marshal, rations are being distributed smoothly. I recited the report. He slammed the desk. My heart stopped. Don't lie to me. I know about those 40 deaths in Onsong County. I know everything. I had no words. He turned to the window. I know. I've always known. But there's nothing I can do. His voice carried something I hadn't expected: defeat. You know, but you can't fix it. We have to answer to China. We have to answer to Russia. We can't do it alone. Then what happens to the people? Now you understand, he said quietly. This is our reality. In that moment, everything I'd believed in collapsed. The system I had devoted my life to, it was a lie all the way down. What you've seen today stays in this room. A warning. I walked out of that office with no feeling in my legs. Director, are you all right? Kim Yong-soo asked. Yong-soo, the party cadre meeting is this afternoon, correct? Yes. 2 p.m. Something was wrong the moment I walked into that conference room. Deputy Premier Ri Cheol-soo was nowhere to be seen. Then the state security agents walked in. Comrade Ri Cheol-soo's anti-party, counter-revolutionary factional activities have been confirmed. The room went cold. He has been stripped of party membership for failure of economic policy. But everyone in that room knew the real reason. This was a faction purge. A week later, Choi Myung-suk found me. Director Comrade Ri Cheol-soo has been shot. My mind went blank. A colleague I'd worked alongside just 7 days ago, gone. If it was Ri Cheol-soo today, tomorrow it could be me. No amount of loyalty could protect you. One moment and it was over. The next morning, my driver spoke up. Director, state security vehicles have been showing up a lot lately. A chill ran through me. Am I being watched? That afternoon, while sorting through office documents, I found it by accident. A list of offshore slush funds belonging to senior party officials. Swiss bank account numbers, line after line. What is this? Office 39 alone won $8 billion. Over 2 trillion Korean won. People were starving to death. And someone had buried this in Switzerland. There were property listings in Shenyang, China. 47 buildings, all under children of senior cadres. Luxury Pyongyang apartments changing hands for $300,000 under the table. This is the system we were protecting? My hands were shaking. Sitting in the car later, it hit me all at once. I was part of it. I had eaten the pheasant. I had ridden the Mercedes. I had enjoyed the privileges. I was complicit. 3 years at Kim Jong-un's side. Hundreds of false reports, my seal on everyone. People starving, and I had looked the other way. That night, my daughter called. Dad, some strange people came to school today and asked questions. My chest seized. What kind of questions? What you say at home. Whether you've been acting strange. State security was investigating my family now. Say nothing to anyone. I hung up. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. Time was running out. I could feel it. My wife said it quietly that night. Honey, we can't go on like this, can we? It was the first time she'd said it out loud. Let's hold on a little longer. But how much longer? The next day, I called Kim Yong-soo, Lee, Seong-woo, and Choi Myung-suk into my office. Everyone be careful. Something's not right. They understood. All of them. We were all in danger. That night before sleep, one thought settled in my chest. This system is rotten. From top to bottom. Every last piece of it. And I was standing at the center. The time to choose was coming. June 2024. My workload expanded. A direct order from the marshal. Cheol-min compiled the current status of the party's overseas assets. Sensitive work. Being trusted with something like this meant he believed in me. It also meant I was in deeper than ever. I spread the documents out. My hands trembled. Swiss secret accounts. Office 39, 1.8 billion. Office 42, 1.2 billion. Combined more than 10 trillion Korean won. I couldn't breathe. 40 people starved to death in Onsong County. And someone had buried 10 trillion in Switzerland. Choi Myung-suk leaned in carefully. Director, you need to look at those and burn them immediately. There were property lists for Shenyang and Beijing. Over 100 buildings and apartments, all under children of senior officials. Myung-suk, how are we supposed to make sense of this? We're not supposed to have seen it at all, Director. That evening, I came home to find a state security vehicle parked in front of my building. My driver spoke without turning around. Director, that car has been there for 3 days. Being watched. My wife opened the door and whispered, someone came by today. Didn't say who. Started asking about your things. Pre-search reconnaissance. Late that night, my phone buzzed. Kim Yong-soo. Director, are you safe to talk? What is it? Your schedule tomorrow morning has been changed. By state security. I hung up. Ice moved through me. State security summons. That's what happened to Ri Cheol-soo. He went in and never came back. Before dawn, I made my decision. I needed to meet Kim Yong-soo, Lee Seong-woo, and Choi Myung-suk. In secret, I filed a travel request inspection of the Marshall's Myeohyang mountain villa. In the car on the way up, I said it plainly. Everyone, we are all in danger. Yong-soo nodded. I know, Director. My phone's been tapped. I can feel it. Lee Seong-woo spoke carefully. Director, can I be honest? I don't believe in the system anymore. A bodyguard saying that. That was serious. Choi Myung-suk pulled out a document. Director, I copied this in secret. The cadre replacement list for January. My breath stopped. Kim Yong-soo, Lee Seong-woo, Choi Myung-suk. All three names were on it. What does this mean? She kept her voice barely above a whisper. It's not a replacement list. It's a purge list. They remove those closest to you first and then you're next. Lee Seong-woo looked straight at me. Director, I've guarded you for 10 years. I'd give my life for you, but not in this country. There's no future here. Yong-soo spoke. If the three of us are removed first, you won't last long after. We have to find a way out together. A way out? He held my gaze, and I understood. All four of us had arrived at the same place. Defection. That dangerous word rose between us like smoke. I know a broker. Choi Myung-suk spoke first. A Joseonjok network through China. I found the information by tracking defection arrest records in reverse. Lee Seong-woo added quietly, I know where the border surveillance system has gaps, especially near Heesan. Yong-soo said, I can forge documents. Business trip cover. They had all been preparing. But our families, I said. The room went quiet. Everyone had someone. Director, Yong-soo said carefully, if we stay, our families die with us. If we go, at least there's a chance. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. He was right. A purge wipes out 3 generations. That night, 4 of us sat in the mountain villa. Myeohyang's night view spread beyond the windows. Beautiful. But the land we lived in was not. When? I asked. We have to move before this year is out, Cho Myung-suk said. Before the list is carried out. We shook hands that night. Life and death together. 4 trembling hands holding on. There was no going back. December 15th, 2024. I'll never forget that morning. Cho Myung-suk came straight to my office, hands shaking. Director. Emergency. The purge execution date has been confirmed January 5th. I looked up. That gives us 3 weeks. Director. Her voice broke. 3 weeks. Decide now or it's over for all of us. That evening we convened at the Myeohyang Villa. Marshall's Villa routine inspection, that was the cover. We arrived at 9 p.m. Tonight we make the final decision, I said. Do we go or do we stay? Heavy silence. Yong-soo spoke first. I'm going. If I stay, I die. I'd rather fight for a chance. Lee Seong-woo nodded. Same. 10 years carrying a gun for the Marshal, and this is how it ends? Choi Myung-suk pulled out a document. I've already contacted the broker. Joseonjok man in Yanji, China. Specializes in high-ranking defectors. $50,000 per person. $200,000 total. A staggering amount. I've already arranged it, I said. I skimmed gold from the slush fund. Enough. 3 stunned faces stared back at me. When do we leave? Lee Seong-woo asked. Before January 5th, at least a week before. Choi Myung-suk opened a calendar. January 3rd, right after the New Year holiday. Security is thinnest, then everyone's still in a holiday state of mind. Checkpoints get loose. The route, she unfolded a map. We cross the Tumen River at Heesan. From there, overland to Yanji, then Beijing, then Thailand. How do we get to Heesan? Official business trip. Economic survey team for North Hamgyong province. Yong-soo answered. I'll make the documents flawless. Then Lee Seong-woo asked carefully, Director, what about your family? My chest dropped. My wife. My daughter. They can't come. My voice was barely above nothing. It's too dangerous. There are 4 of us already. Cho Myung-suk nodded. I have to leave my parents behind. Yong-soo's eyes glistened. I have a wife. A son. He's 5. Yong-soo. It's all right. This is my choice. If I stay, my son, he didn't finish. Lee Seong-woo pressed his fist into his knee. My mother is elderly. I have to leave her alone. The pain of it sat on all of us. But there was no other path. We have to lie to our families, I said. Tell them it's a business trip. That we'll be back soon. That's the only way to protect them. All 4 heads bowed. December 20th. The preparation began in earnest. Yong-soo forged the documents. Park Cheol-min, director. Economic survey team. Onsong County and Musan County, North Hamgyong Province. Flawless. Choi Myung-suk finalized the details with the broker. January 3rd, 2 a.m. Meeting point bank of the Tumen River, Hesan. Signal 3 flashes of a cigarette lighter. Lee Seong-woo prepared the weapons. 2 pistols. Just in case. I handled the gold. 15 bars. Roughly $3 million. Siphoned slowly from the slush fund accounts over time. This was the price of 4 lives. New Year's Eve. I spent the last hours at home. My wife was in the kitchen making teoguk. Honey, this year, only good things ahead. I couldn't answer. Dad, when I graduate from medical school, let's all travel somewhere, my daughter said. Yes, let's do that. A lie. I wouldn't be there for her graduation. You said you're leaving January 3rd, my wife asked. North Hamgyong. About a week. Come back safe. It's supposed to be cold. Don't worry. That night, after they fell asleep, I stood in the doorway and looked at them for a long time. This was the last time. Tears came. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. January 2nd night. Final call between the 4 of us. Tomorrow, Cho Myung-suk said. Everyone leaves home at 4 a.m. We meet in front of the State Affairs Commission and move together. After tomorrow, our lives change, I said. Let's survive. Yong-soo, director. Let's meet again somewhere free. That night, I couldn't sleep. I stared out at the lights of Pyongyang blinking in the dark. Tomorrow, I'll never see those lights again. My home, my family, everything, gone. But I had no regrets. This was my choice. A choice toward freedom. A choice toward survival. January 3rd, 2025, 1 a.m. All 4 of us gathered in front of the State Affairs Commission. 2 black sedans waiting. Move out, I said quietly. Yong-soo handed me the documents. North Hamgyong Economic Survey Team. Official dispatch orders. Special transit pass authorized to move through any checkpoint without stopping. The cars left Pyongyang and pushed north. 3 a.m. First checkpoint. Halt. A soldier raised his hand. Lee Seong-woo rolled down the window. Special inspection team from the State Affairs Commission. He held out the pass. The soldier examined it, came to attention. You may proceed. First gate cleared. Through Hamhung, through Chongjin, on toward Hyesan. 11 a.m. We arrived. We need to find the broker, Cho Myung-suk said. Back alley behind the Hyesan market. Non. At noon, a man appeared in the narrow lane. Are you Comrade Park? Joseon-jok accent. Yes. Follow me. A worn-down house. We stepped inside. We leave tonight at 2 a.m. From here on, you follow my instructions. His voice was flat, cold. Here's the payment. 15 gold bars. He weighed them, nodded. Good. Change your clothes. A pile of rough-worn garments. We need to look like farmers to cross the border. 2 a.m. We move to the riverbank. The Tumen River, edge of Hyesan. In the darkness, the sound of running water. That's the crossing point. The broker pointed. Is the ice solid? Yong-soo asked. Only about a foot of it. You walk first, then swim from the middle. 20 below zero. Lee Seong-woo stepped forward. I'll go first. He descended to the river, stepped out carefully on the ice. Crack. Entering the water, he whispered. He lowered himself into the river. A sound escaped him, barely controlled. Like his bones were freezing from the inside. I went second. The cold hit like a wall of lead. Hold on, the broker said. 10 minutes, that's all. Choi Myung-suk and Yong-soo followed. We were halfway across when the floodlights came on. Who's there? North Korean patrol. They've spotted us, the broker shouted. Move. Bang. 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 Shots. Rounds skipping across the water's surface. Down, I yelled. All 4 of us dropped below the surface. Swim. Fast. The broker was already ahead. More shots. Then a scream. Ah, my leg. Yong-soo. I spun around. He was flailing in the current, blood darkening the water around his thigh. Director, go without me. No. I turned back. Grabbed him. Leave me. We go together. I pulled him forward. Lee Seong-woo came up on the other side and took his weight. We've got him. The shots stopped. We'd gone too far. The lights couldn't reach us anymore. Faster, the broker pushed. One last surge. And then ground beneath our feet. Chinese soil. We made it. Choi Myung-suk was sobbing. All 4 of us collapsed on the bank, bodies shaking uncontrollably. Yong-soo, I checked his leg. The bullet had gone clean through the thigh. It hurts, Director. Almost over. Just hold on. The broker was already on his phone. Get in the car now. Chinese authorities will sweep this area. We loaded Yongsu into the vehicle. There's a Joseonjok doctor in Yanji. We go there first. The car moved into the dark. I looked back through the rear window. The searchlights were still on, still sweeping. North Korea, the land I could never go back to. We did it. Cho Myung-suk was still crying. Lee Seong-woo was too. And so was I. We're alive. We made it. But the joy was smaller than the grief. Faces came flooding back. My wife, my daughter. They would suffer for what I'd done. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Dawn. 5 a.m. A Joseonjok village on the outskirts of Yanji. You need to stay hidden here for now, the broker said. North Korean security and Chinese authorities will both be searching. We lay down on the floor of a worn-out room, peeled off the wet clothes, pulled blankets over ourselves. The doctor treated Yongsu. The bone is intact. He'll recover. Outside, the sun was rising over China. Free land, I thought. But not yet. This was China. Where we needed to be was South Korea. One day passed in that narrow room. Then I turned on the TV. A North Korean broadcast. Breaking report. A group of traitors led by State Affairs. Commission Director Park Cheolmin has defected. My face was on the screen. These are the highest order betrayers who have turned their backs on the marshal. Yongsu's face. Lee Seong-woo's face. Cho Myung-suk's face. The marshal himself has issued the order bring them back. Alive or dead. I stopped breathing. Kim Jong-un had personally issued the warrant. A $1 million bounty. The broker rushed in. Big problem. North Korean state security has started a joint manhunt with Chinese authorities. They're tearing through all of Yanji. Cho Myung-suk looked up. Our families. The TV cut to new footage. Family members of the traitors have been taken into custody. My wife, my daughter, being dragged away by agents. No, my knees gave out. My daughter was screaming. My wife's head was down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yongsu was crying. My son, he's 5. Lee Seong-woo put his fist through the wall. Mother, I'm sorry. All 4 of us were falling apart. There's no time for this, the broker said coldly. We leave tonight. This village gets searched tomorrow, 10 p.m. Back in the car. Shenyang first. Then Beijing. Darkness all the way. 2 a.m. A suburb of Shenyang. Another Joseonjok safe house. Stay here 2 days. I'll secure the Beijing route. 2 days inside. No way out. Chinese news was running the story senior North Korean officials defect. Authorities searching. Yongsu's leg was improving. Director, I feel like dead weight. Don't say that. We go together. That was the agreement. On the 3rd night, the broker came back. I have tickets to Beijing. He paused. But there's a problem. What is it? I need more money. How much? Another $500,000 per person. Another $2 million. The bounty on your head in North Korea is $1 million. Turning you in would be more profitable. A cold smile. Pay or I hand you over. Your choice. No way out. Fine. Give me the account number. I transferred the funds from the Swiss account. Good. We leave tomorrow morning. He left. Lee Seong-woo's jaw was tight. We endure, I said. Once we reach Korea, that's all that matters. The next morning, we boarded the train to Beijing. New forged Chinese IDs. Wang Cheolmin, Mi Myung-suk, Jang Song-woo, Jin Yongsu. New names. Every time a public security officer walked through the car, my heart hammered. ID check. Here. My hands were shaking. He looked at the card. Handed it back. Move along. I finally let out a breath. 12 hours to Beijing. At Beijing station, a second broker appeared. Thailand next. Here are your forged passports. Chinese passports. I was Wang Cheolmin now. Flight leaves tomorrow morning. Contact the South Korean embassy once you're in Thailand. South Korea was close. That night, 4 of us in the hotel room. Almost there, Cho Myung-suk said. But I couldn't feel it. Not yet. I looked out at the Beijing skyline, glittering and indifferent. Somewhere beyond all those lights, on the other side of the border, our families were in a political prison camp. If we survive this, we have to speak, I said. That's the one thing we can give back. Tell the world what's really happening inside North Korea. That's our debt to pay. All 3 nodded. We were no longer North Korean officials. We were witnesses. January 18th, 2025, Beijing Capital Airport. Forged Chinese passports in hand. Wang Cheolmin, Mi Myung-suk, Jang Seong-woo, Jin Yongsu. Act natural, the broker said. 1 inspection point and you're through. If they stop us, it's over. I stepped up to the checkpoint. The officer took my passport. Purpose of travel? Tourism. My Chinese was steady. He looked at my face, then looked again. Wait here. He signaled another officer. The two of them exchanged words. Then Lee Seong-woo's voice low and urgent. They have us on a watch list. Run! We ran. The airport turned to chaos. Alarms. Shouting. Officers in pursuit. We found a side exit. Jumped into a cab. Go. Anywhere. Now. The driver's face was pale. An hour. Beijing outskirts. A small hotel. We collapsed inside. We can't use any airport in China, Young-soo said. We go overland, Lee Seong-woo said. Mongolia or Vietnam. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Is this Director Park Cheol-min? Korean. Clear and unmistakable. Who is this? National Intelligence Service. Republic of Korea. We're here to help. I didn't move. How? We know your situation. Get to Thailand. We'll take it from there. Use your forged passports. Go by train through Vietnam. The line went dead. A text followed. Detailed route. Contact information. Can we trust this? Choi Myung-suk asked. We have no other option. 2 days later, through Hanoi, we landed in Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi Airport. We go to the South Korean embassy, I said. We took a cab, pulled up to the front gate. But something was wrong. A man across the street, watching us. Him. Lee Seong-woo's voice dropped. I've seen him before. In Pyongyang. North Korean operative. He had tracked us here. Inside. Now. We ran for the main gate. Help us. I called out to the guard. We're North Korean defectors. There's someone following us. The guard pulled us through. The door swung shut. The operative paced furiously outside. But this was South Korean territory. All four of us sank to the ground right there in the entryway. An embassy official came running. Are you all right? Our voices were gone. We want to go to South Korea. She nodded. I'll get the consul. The consul appeared. Are you the Park Cheol-min? Yes. We received word from the NIS. We'll need to verify your identities. 3 days of verification. My background. My career. My relationship with Kim Jong-un. Everything confirmed. Confirmed. This is the real Park Cheol-min. The consul looked shaken. NIS agents are on their way. You'll be transferred to South Korea shortly. Tears came before I could stop them. Thank you. Thank you. January 28th, we boarded the flight to Incheon, a special aircraft. 2 NIS agents accompanying us. You're safe now. The plane lifted off. Thailand fell away beneath us, and North Korea was even further behind an unreachable shore. Director, Young-soo said softly. We made it. We did. Cho Myung-suk was crying. Lee Seong-woo too. And me. We're alive. 4 hours later, the cabin announcement. We will shortly be arriving at Incheon International Airport. My heart was pounding. South Korea. Through the window, Korean soil. City lights glittering below. I had no words. The land of freedom. The plane touched down. The door opened. Korean air came in. Is this what our country smells like? Young-soo's voice cracked. Welcome to the Republic of Korea, an NIS agent said. At those words, all four of us dropped to our knees. Thank you. Thank you. We were free. February 1st, 2025. My feet on the ground at Incheon Airport. Is this really South Korea? I couldn't make it feel real. 30 days ago, I had been in Pyongyang. An NS vehicle picked us up. We're taking you to a secure facility. Outside the window, South Korea moved past. High-rises, cars, people going everywhere. Everything was astonishing. What does that sign say? Young-soo asked. Convenience store. Open. Open when? All night. He fell silent, stunned. At the facility, the process began. How many times did you meet Kim Jong-un? 132 times. The overseas slush funds? Swiss accounts alone, $1.8 billion. Overseas real estate holdings? Over 100 properties in China. All registered under children of senior officials. The agent stared. We've never had intelligence like this. I managed it directly. The purge system, how does it operate? The marshal issues the order. State security carries it out. I can give you names. For 3 months, I testified. Everything they didn't know. You're a living archive of classified North Korean intelligence. One agent told me, April. We entered Hanawon, the settlement center for North Korean defectors. All four of us together. Day 1. Culture shock. You can use the internet on your phone, anytime? Yes. Search whatever you want. I typed in Kim Jong-un's name. Critical articles poured onto the screen. I won't be arrested for this. This is freedom. Tears came without warning. This is what freedom is. The freedom to say what you think. We went to a supermarket. My first time in a large grocery store. What is all this? Shelves overflowing. Ramen. Snacks. Meat. Fruit. Buy what you want. If you have money? Yes. Choi Myung-suk began to cry in the middle of the aisle. In Pyongyang, money wasn't enough. Here it is. She kept crying the whole way through the store. This is freedom. One day, watching the news, I saw people criticizing the government on television. They won't be arrested. No. Freedom of the press. Outside, protesters in the street. Government out. Are they? They're fine. Citizens have the right to protest here. Yong-soo stared at the crowd for a long time. This is what a country is supposed to look like. June. Hanawan completed. A new ID card. Republic of Korea citizen Park Cheol-min. I was no longer the director at the State Affairs Commission, just a person. A South Korean. The Ministry of Unification reached out. We'd like to bring you on as an advisor. Can I actually do that? No one understands North Korea like you do. All four of us found our places. I joined the Ministry of Unification as an advisor. Yong-soo went to work for a defector support organization. Lee Seong-woo began giving security lectures. Cho Myung-suk started a North Korean human rights campaign. But the thought of family never left. Every time North Korean news came on, the ache was physical. Where are they now, my wife? My daughter? They're in a political prison camp. One night, all four of us gathered again. There's something we have to do, I said. Tell the truth about North Korea. Speak about Kim Jong-un's lies, about the suffering of the people. That's the debt we owe. We're with you, all three. We became witnesses to the truth of North Korea, to Kim Jong-un's deception, to the agony of 25 million people. Thank you for listening to this. I worked beside Kim Jong-un for 3 years. I saw with my own eyes how rotten that system is. People starving to death while the regime hid 10 trillion won in Switzerland. One wrong word, 3 generations disappear into a prison camp. No freedom, no hope. South Korea was different. Convenience stores open through the night. The internet with no walls. A government you're allowed to criticize. That is freedom. I left my family behind. I will carry that guilt for the rest of my life. But I have no regrets, because I believe that speaking the truth here, from this place, is how North Korea begins to change. One day it will be free. Kim Jong-un's regime will fall. The people will be liberated. That day will come. When it does, I want to go back to Pyongyang. I want to lay flowers in front of my wife's grave. And my daughter's. Do you know how precious freedom is? The freedom you take for granted, it is everything. 25 million North Korean brothers and sisters are still dreaming of it. Reunification must come. In our generation. The day the North and South become one, I am praying for it with everything I have. I am now a citizen of the Free Republic of Korea. I am grateful. I am proud. Long live the Republic of Korea.